So I have been posting about using the Equiband for almost a year now, actually. The question I want to answer is, was it worth it or not? What's she using? Why is that thing on him? Like, what does she think she's doing? Let's just dig in. Hey everybody, and welcome back to hashtag Team Fuego. So I'm actually really excited for this video, guys, because it's been a little bit of a long time coming. So I have been posting about using the Equiband for almost a year now, actually. I think the first video I ever posted was February of 2021. So the reason I say this is a long time coming is because I finally have enough time under my belt to make this what I'm calling a reflection video. So if you're watching this video or you hear the sound of my voice, then you are interested in my assessment of, like, the question I want to answer is, was it worth it or not? Let's dig in. So there's a beginning, a middle, and an end to this story. So at the different phases of the story, I was in a different state. I was open to different ideas. The information came at me, as I was gathering it. Because let's be real, if you go online and you search Equiband, you don't really get any, you get information, but it's just not that helpful. So that was why I started posting these videos in the first place. Was I personally was trying to find online like answers to my questions, and they didn't exist. So I was like, okay, fine, I'm gonna do it myself. So that's kind of who I am, but maybe for better or worse. Anyway, let's just dig in. So in the beginning, I was given the Equiband because my horse was rehabbing, and that might be the same story that you have as well. You could be finding this video because you were in the same boat that I was. You're given this Equiband, you're told, wow, this is going to make a huge difference, and then they say, go, and you're like, but what do I do? Like, how do I, what? And even the vet that gave it to me gave me a little bit of a plan. Like, they really did. They gave me all the bones of a good plan, but there's a big difference between a good plan and executing a good plan, which will probably be a part of the middle part of the story. So in the beginning, though, I was kind of like, okay, cool. So I'm going to use this extra tool to rehab my horse, and hopefully in the process, the horse will get better, like that's pretty much how I really started with this tool, was just like hopes and dreams that it would make a big difference. And I guess I can be pleased to announce that in terms of rehabbing an injury, I don't think there is anything else on the horse market that matches what the Equiband can do for your horse. And I'm specifically saying that in reference to rehabbing a horse. I've rehabbed quite a few injuries at this point, so I am comparing multiple different rehabs to each other. Different areas like, leg, back, neck. There's lots of different areas a horse could get injured. So I am comparing a few rehabs, and without using the Equiband on those other rehabs, it's hard to really know. But I can speculate from my experiences that the rehab I did with the Equiband far succeeds in progress and after of it, like it was very beneficial to my horse that was rehabbing. With that being said, though, that's where we get into the middle of the story, because I asked my horse trainer, I said, why does nobody use the Equiband? I was like, I don't understand. Like, I'm at a barn with 60 horses and I'm the only one that uses it. And I was like, okay, fine, I'm the only one who is, well, I'm definitely not the only one who's ever rehabbed a horse out there, but I was like, why am I the only one who seems to use this thing or even understand why it's useful? And she texted me back and she was like, well, you're not the only one that uses it, but you're the only one that had a program. And that's kind of important because that leads to the end of the story. But she was like, she identified, she was like, you're the only one that had like a program. You're the only one that had you know, for instance, all the things I've been posting, right? Like how to fit your Equiband and then scale it up. I posted a video on the Equiband tracker so that you can figure out exactly the tensity and how hard you're challenging your horse. I also posted a video about, I've posted like tons of videos, but the point is that I was giving everybody little nuggets of part of this overall program that she basically just nailed that one right on the head. And also, like, why these videos are getting tons and tons of views is because, like, they just don't exist online. The program for the Equiband just doesn't exist online until now. Sorry, that's where we're getting to the end of this story. So what ended up happening was my horse trainer identified the fact that, okay, cool, like, you know, the other thing I will also add, sorry, I gotta add this in, when you're an equestrian and you do things a little differently than everybody else, they like to point at you and be like, you're different. So I will also say that it took some thick skin on my part to be able to withstand everybody being like, what's she using? Why is that thing on him? Like, what does she think she's doing? And, you know, at first I was definitely leaning on the fact that I was rehabbing my horse and I was using this tool to rehab my horse. And then what happened was about 4 or 5 months into his rehab, where he was starting to do pretty much his regular workload, that was when I realized that this tool, which was for the rehab, was actually doing things that were totally for him as a horse and really had nothing to do with the rehab, because it is a it's a horse strengthening tool. It strengthens their body. It strengthens how they use their body. It literally can hold, like for my horse that really struggled with body alignment. Here's a literal example of how this helped my horse. A literal example. So my horse was always really crooked, right? So he's always been really, like, he's used his right way more than his left, and it's, you know, due to how he eats, it's just like this mess of, like, he always tries to use his right side in place of his left side, and it's it was a constant battle between us, because I was like, no, really, I need your left shoulder to do things, not the right. The right cannot just be a left shoulder. And so what ended up happening was this tool held his body in line, and 2 things happened. One, he learned what straightness really was, because before I was holding him in place. I was literally every single step like, stay straight, stay straight, stay straight, and he was like fighting every single step. I can't, I don't want to, oh, it's harder, it's easier to just do this. And so 2 things happened. One, the horse got stronger at being straighter, and 2, when the Equiband was asking him to do that and I didn't have to anymore, all of a sudden I had all this free time to work on all this other stuff. So it was really actually quite funny, because what started as this tool rehabbing us, rehabbing his leg injury, ended up rehabbing some of our fundamental problems that we had coming into this. And you know, like, you can there are tons of videos of me riding on this channel, so feel free to go ahead and watch those and judge me for, you know, whether or not you think I'm a good rider, whether or not you think I'm a competent rider. Like, somebody could totally listen to this and be like, well, she probably sucks, so that's probably why her horse suffered at not being straight. Fair enough, that's what you think, go for it, do whatever you want. But if you are the kind of person, sorry, got a text message, but if you're the kind of person who also, you know, spends, you may or may not be spending a lot of your time giving the same instruction to your horse that could or could not, if that question or if that struggle was taken off the table, right? Like, if you didn't have to spend all your energy asking your horse to lift up in their gut, if you didn't have to spend all your time asking your horse to use their haunches or tuck their haunches underneath themselves a bit more, like if you didn't have to spend any extra energy, like, because my example was straightness. Now, if your problem is straightness, just go with what I'm saying. But if your problem isn't necessarily straightness, maybe it's collection or lifting up in the body, or them being able to carry their own frame. But if you could just solve one of those problems, right? If you could take that problem off your plate, what else would you work on? And so we're in the middle of the story now where, my horse trainer was like, okay, well, nobody had a program like yours. And I was like, okay. Duly noted. So what I did was I built an online course. So now we get to the end of the story. I built the course probably like 4 months ago, and I am not even gonna lie to you. I purely have been selling this course off of organic YouTube sales. I have not tried to advertise it. I have not tried to market it. I have not tried to do anything. I have purely been offering people a free Equiband training based on these YouTube videos, and people go and they take the training, and then some people have invested in the course. Now, this is totally going to be every individual person, whether or not they want that type of hand-holding style of, here is exactly what you do, here's exactly how you make your plan, here are all the tools that I have made in order to make this plan. The reality is you can get so much from that free training and have a pretty general idea of how to get started. But of course, the whole reason that I built the course was I took all of the information that I had been collecting, because like I said, when you go online and search Equiband, it's kind of a hot mess. And you know what else I really tried to do? I tried to identify why it's important for not only rehabbing horses, but also in full work horses to be using the Equiband. So the end of this story is I used the Equiband for about, I guess it would be 9 months, including, me making this course and everything. And what I ended up doing was I stopped using it for the last 3 months of the year. And one of the reasons is because the Equiband did what it was supposed to do. 1, help me rehab the horse. 2, as I said, it was extra over delivery of promises, where it helped us immensely with our straightness. In addition to all the other things that, with strength, and so strength, body alignment, like center lines. I always talk about center lines, but if you really want to go straight on the center line, this thing's gonna hold you in place. Suffice it to say that when I stopped using it, it was on purpose, and it was because I wanted to see how much of what we've built, what my horse's name is Fuego, or Deli, what he and I built over the course of almost that year. I wanted to see how much of it was built off of the tool and how much of that was really him now. Like, how much of that went from using this tool to create this result to this being our new result. And I am pleasantly surprised to say that it was great to be able to recognize that the horse was actually just straighter. He was actually just stronger. He was actually better able to lift up in his body and collect because of using these bands. So basically I guess there's 2 ends to this story, but now, fast forward to now, where we're going to get ready to launch into the 2022 spring show season. And Basically, I haven't used the Equiband for the last three and a half months, I would say. And my plan is to, when I am, I'm actually going to start his fitness plan next week, but when I get him back on his fitness plan to get him like ready to do a cross country course, I am going to add the Equiband back in for specifically strength purposes, right? Like this time last year, I was using the Equiband for rehab purposes, but the reflection that I'm going to make on the Equiband is that, one, it did do what it was supposed to do in terms of my rehab, so it was worth it on that level. Like I have to just be 100% just one-to-one. People are given the tool to rehab, so that's what it helped me do. Mission accomplished there. What is not spoken about, what is not talked about, what is missing from Equiband marketing, and I also want to add that this video is no way sponsored by Equiband, not even a little bit. So and if you work at Equiband and you're listening to this video, listen to me now. What is missing from Equiband's marketing is what an Equiband can do for a horse who is not rehabbing. Because if you fast forward to the results I was seeing at month 4, month 5, when the rehab was almost over, if you fast forward to those results of better body alignment, being able to carry himself easier, straighter center lines, I say that all the time. But the point is, if you fast forward to those results, I would say that the Equiband is the most valuable tool I have in my toolbox, because it literally enabled this horse to be able to use his body to the best of his ability. And then when you fast forward to now, when I'm building his fitness schedule literally next week, to start getting him fit to go to show again, I am going to put the Equiband back in as a supplemental training tool to help him build up his strength, like his muscle strength, as we also build up his endurance and respiratory strength. So what does that tell us? As you remember, the main question I wanted to answer with this video was it worth it or not? And I answered that on a few different levels, but I will definitely echo the fact that the value I got from the Equiband truly, one, outweighed the cost. Because if I'm saying I would buy something again, like horse stuff is expensive. Like if I'm saying I would buy something again, then you know that it's really something valuable. Because I would, like, there's a lot of stuff in my horse world. I would rebuy my dressage saddle, my custom made dressage saddle, because it's amazing how much work you can get done when you don't have to fight your tack. And, a few other things here and there were, I'd buy the horse again, but a few other things that were expensive here and there that, people, if you had to buy it again, the value you get out of it, if you had to buy it again, I bet most of you wouldn't buy your tall boots again. Like, those things are horrible to break in. But the point is, I'm just trying to get your brain open a little bit on that, because for me to say wholeheartedly I would buy this again in a heartbeat really does speak to the results that I got. Now, if you are listening to this and you've never used one before and you're just curious, then I would say use the link below and go to the free training. It's got tons of information in it without me asking you for any money. And if you are interested in using the Equiband or building a program with me, then by all means. It's a one-time fee and you get access to it, and every time I make updates, and for instance this week I am due to post 2 new videos, so every time I make updates, you're just going to get those updates for free. It's a lifetime membership. But maybe you already have an Equiband and you are curious about somebody else's results, and I would also invite you to watch the free training, not because you don't already know what it is, but to potentially have us compare our experiences. And that might for one reason or another, lead you down, investing in the course because you're like, okay, I have the Equiband. I like the Equiband. I didn't have a bad experience with it, but I didn't see the results she's seeing. So, maybe there's something else I can do. All right, so to wrap this video up, because it really isn't about you investing in the Equi course or even building a program. So that's really phase 2, because phase 1 is just the recognition from me that the Equiband was wholeheartedly 100% worth it. The next step is what I'm hoping, what my main goal is, okay, yes, I am helping a lot of people who are using the Equiband for rehab, but what I'm really hoping is that if you heard what I said and you were at least piqued your curiosity as to what this could potentially do, or what these results could look like for your horse, I'm hoping you just sign up for the free training. You get a lot of information, doesn't cost you anything, just a little bit of time, and you have to listen to me a little bit. But the point is, I really, really hope that you've enjoyed this reflection, and that it was also valuable to you to see what this could potentially do for you and your horse, because the benefit it wasn't just for my horse. There was a huge benefit for me as well. And I have been outlining those throughout this entire video. So I'm really looking forward to getting to know you and your horse, and, comment on this video below any questions you have about the Equiband. Anybody who's already posted a comment on this channel knows I respond paragraphs. I want to help everybody get started and use the Equiband successfully. So I'm looking forward to meeting each and every one of you and your horses, and I can't wait to see you on that training. Let's do this. Hey guys, thanks for hanging out for another #Team Fuego video. If you haven't already, check out the link below, because I put together a free training on the Equiband. And all you gotta do is give me your email and I'm gonna send it to you. It's as simple as that. So if you're ready to feel a real difference in how your horse uses their body, then head to that free training. I'll see you there.